Let me make sure we're going live here. Maybe we're not live. Here we go. We are live. Beautiful. Hello, Reiki Studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is a live event in Reiki Studio. We hold twice a month. We hold different topics, and this month is about crystal connections. And we host a whole bunch of panelists to talk with you. And with this said is that we ask for panelists to come on. And if you see a topic that you're interested in, let me know. Get in contact with me and become a panelist. This is to embrace and to allow yourself to connect with other people and to empower yourself. And that's what Reiki Studio is about. I developed it to empower you in your journey. No matter if you're doing a metaphysical practitioner studies, or you're a Reiki practitioner, or you're just on your life path. Here we are. We're here to empower you. So we do this twice a month, and we're actually going to change a little bit of it. The second Friday of the month will be at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time with a topic. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to be on the fourth Sunday of the month at 6 p.m. Hopefully, we're still working with that time. And we're going to have it for the evening crew, so you can join us live. We will do a replay, though. So here we are, and here we are with the panelists. So here's our this week's panelists for us, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to introduce them for a minute here. And so the first person that we're going to talk to is Tanis. Tanis Rose will be handling the properties, attributes of crystals, the shape, the color, the patterns. What does this all mean, right? Hi, Tanis.
Hi, pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess you'd like us to do a little bit of an intro?
Yeah, a little bit of intro bio about yourself.
All right. So I'm a Reiki master, crystal master, and a Celtic shamanic high priestess, as well as being an intuitive healer. And I own two businesses, and one of them is an HR consulting firm as well. So I have a wellness business doing Reiki and crystals and all that fun stuff. And I also do HR. So.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so very much. And Tanis has actually been with us mostly every episode but one. So we really thank you for all your devoted time with us and everything. Thank you so very much. Our next is one of my dear friends, Luna Len. She's going to be talking about crystals, clearing them, charging them, programming them. And Luna, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here today. Crystals are my whole world. I own a metaphysical crystal shop in Madison, Wisconsin called Cosmic Delights, where we have tons of crystals and spiritual objects. I also have another business where I'm a sacred sound oracle, and I do sound healing. And I'm a graduate of the Madison Psychic Institute, Reiki practitioner, and yeah. Crystals are my world. So I'm so excited to share with you guys today.
Thank you so very much. And thank you for joining us. I hope you come to more segments and episodes with us. We just love you. All right. Next is Carla. Carla has been with us quite a few times too. And she's going to be talking about our well-being and health and how to incorporate crystals for your ailments. Carla, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, good morning. My name is Carla Fishing Hawk, and of course, I'm extremely grateful to be here again. This is such a wonderful experience to learn and to be taught and to help teach and stand by these strong, beautiful ladies that just know so much about how to carry that high vibrational energy. So I'm, like I say, I do a little bit of this, I do a little bit of that. I'm a psychic medium. I'm just do a little bit of this. I have a show on Facebook that I do on a regular basis on psychic fixes with Debbie Duncan, and yeah, I'm just pretty much here available to help heal the world and do what I do and learn from these lovely ladies. And sometimes there's a gentleman on here as well. So I'm grateful to be here, and thank you very kindly.
Oh, thank you very much. Teacher, student, student, teacher, always, right? That's my motto.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Thank you so very much for all your dedication and help that you do with us. Miss Rhonda. Rhonda is going to be talking about protection, the guidelines that will aid you with dispelling and transmuting negative energies around you everywhere and psychic attacks and so much more. Rhonda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I am the manager of the original Motor City Ghost Hunters. I am an intuitive empath, and I have a business that I actually have a couple of different businesses, but one is Rhonda's Mystic Solutions, and that's where I primarily do my Reiki work, home blessings, and stuff like that. But protection is very important with me not only being an empath, but with me dealing with paranormal. I never know what kind of energy that I'm going to run into. So it's always very important to teach people how to protect themselves. And I love using crystals to do that with.
Beautiful. Thank you so very, very, very much, Rhonda. You're so awesome. I love your work. I do. I love it. I watch it all the time. All right, next is Dana. Dana is doing a special guest. She's been with us all the time, but she has a special guest. It's Vogel crystals. What are they? And what makes them so special? And how to obtain them and care for them and everything. Dana, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Dana. I'm a Reiki master. I've done 3 different types of Reiki. I practice in Jacob and Reiki. I do meditations and sound healings. I believe in sound 100%. So that's my thing, sound. I believe we can heal the world with sound. So I'm doing the Vogel crystal today, and I'm telling y'all there's so much it's hard to put in. But I'm excited to be here, and I love sharing the knowledge with people because I think more and more people need to learn these. We need to get back to traditional values in life, and this helps us to get there. And thank you, Kathy, for having us, and all the lovely guests and people that are out there today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so here we are, and we have some people already online looking at us and saying, Jamie says, hello from good morning to you all, sending Reiki and light to all you from Mineral Point, Wisconsin. So we got a Wisconsin person here. So that's pretty cool. We have 9 people viewing, and so they might be asking questions. It might be a little delayed, panelists. So I will definitely speak up and ask their questions, and we might have to answer them again. All right. So crystals. So this is going to be a basic crystal 101 kind of like flow with us. We only have an hour with these beautiful panelists. So, crystals do so much for us. They're living organisms, and they're just beautiful way to connect. I know people connect with them. They don't even have to be metaphysical people, in their trade. I mean, I know people, little kids collect rocks all the time, and they don't know why. They just like them. They like them to be around them. So even with that being a lighter note, welcome to our circle, everybody. And the first speaker we're going to talk about is going to be, what are they? Tennis, the attributes, the properties, you're on.
So you were talking about that child. Yeah. I was one of those kids. I had this big, cracker box with like rocks from all across Canada.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was one of those kids. So crystals are first dimensional beings, actually. So if you think about us being third to fifth dimension, we're switching that now, but we're about third to fifth dimension beings. Crystals are actually first dimensional beings. So they actually do have a consciousness. You'll notice that when you hold two crystals, you could hold two different crystals for the same amount of time, and one will get warm and one won't. And that's because the one that's getting warm is one, it knows you need to work with it. And so it's letting you know that it's there to help you. So they're very, very helpful little beings. They come in all different sizes. You'll see in the crystal shops, all different shapes and sizes. They are naturally formed, of course, and mined all over the world. And depending on where you get them from, they also can have different energies. So, if it's from Brazil or if it's from South Africa, they're going to have different energies. It could be the same crystal, but there may be slightly different energy. They still have the same healing properties. If they're an amethyst, they're going to have the same healing properties. They may, if you're very sensitive, you might feel a difference. So the colors mean a lot when it comes to crystals. We have a chakra system, and each one is related to a color. And so when you're trying to pick something, you're picking a chakra that you're dealing with. So for instance, if you're looking at your heart chakra, it's related to blue. It can also be related to pink. And so you would pick crystals that would help support that energy. So we vibrate between 63 and 73 megahertz overall, but each of our body parts actually vibrate at a specific rate. And so the crystals, when they're brought into your field, they help to support the vibrational rate. And that's how that has been figured out as to which ones go with which chakra and that sort of thing, and which body part, which organ they're helping to work with, and that kind of thing. So when you're working with crystals, you can certainly work with them. Most people are familiar with working with, like a tumbled stone kind of thing, right? Of course, they come in all different shapes and sizes too. Or you might be working with something that's a little bit more rough. So that would be a rough rose quartz. When you look at each of the crystals have their own structure as well. So you could look at the actual structure of the rough crystal to figure that out. We're not going to get into that today because I think that's getting into a little too much detail. But the shape of the crystal actually has a lot to do with what you're using it for as well. So something like this one, which would be, it's an egg shape. So that would be about fertility or new ideas, new beginnings, might be about a creation energy that you're trying to create. So like, as an example, this one's Milanowski. So that would be really very much a creating alchemy kind of crystal because you're egg-shaped and Milanowski. Something like this, you might use it as a generator. It's called a generator. You might use that, it's a clear quartz, to put in the center of a crystal grid. So when we create a crystal grid, it's when you're putting crystals in geometric patterns in order to create an overall vibration. So basically what we put out, we attract. And so when we do a crystal grid, we have a crystal grid for love. We would create a crystal grid that has that vibrational frequency so that we can pull that energy in. In short, that's what it is. And we can use all different types of geometric shapes. Often we use the flower of life or a seed of life. You might use Metatron's cube. You might just use basic squares and circles, depending on what you want to create, because each of those have their own symbolism as well. Getting back to shapes, so one like this, that's a rose quartz in the heart shape. So that would really bring in love, support love. If you wanted to, like this would be a great present for somebody that was getting married, for instance. Right? You might give them a large rose quartz to help support the relationship. Another one would be like a sphere. And that one basically, if you're using these in crystal grids as well, the shape affects how it actually sends the energy out. So a sphere like that is going to send it out in all directions in a smooth way. Something that's more like a cluster, like this one, you're going to get it sent out in all different directions. This would be actually a good example to show you. This comes in a geode, so you'll see there's a, it's like a rougher edge, and that's on the inside. So normally this would have a thicker, rough edge around it, and it actually grows in a geode shape. So it's like a big, they come in geodes all different sizes. This is a smaller one, but you know, they come in huge ones when in the mines. That's how they get the other portions. Like this would be in a, that would have been in a much bigger geode when it was first got. Okay, and you'll notice as I'm showing these to you that there's different. This one here is much more like cubic looking in the shape of the actual points. Okay, this one is much less like that. Right? Like this one is. This isn't as cubic, much more round, softer looking than one like this. So this is what I was referring to about the different shapes in terms of the crystal structure. Getting back to the other shapes, so you, in order for use, you might use something like this, which would be like considered a palm stone. So those are great for meditation. You might use something like this. This one is one I use on my heart all the time. It's a green calcite. So green goes with the heart chakra. So that's a nice one to put there. Okay, so colors of the chakras. We're going through like, it's rainbow colors, right? So red would be your root chakra. It's all about safety and security. You've got your sacral chakra, which is about creation, creativity. It's your sexual organs, those kind of things. So each chakra is related to parts of the body, different emotional states, and all of that. So as you pick crystals for the specific chakras or the specific ailments that you might have, it helps to support those particular things. So sacral is orange. Go up to the solar plexus, it's yellow. Heart chakra, as I mentioned, is green and pink. You go up to your throat chakra and it's blue. Third eye would be indigo, and crown chakra is purple. Sometimes you use clear quartz up there as well. So it really depends on what you're trying to support in your life, or what kind of energies you're trying to bring in, what kind of crystals you're using. And there's so many. And the hardness of the crystals is all great. You're looking, there's books. I was just looking to see if I had mine here. Crystal Bible. It's a great resource. It's got a lot of information in it. There's the crystal prescription books as well, which is, you can look up, it's got all the ailments that we might have, like all examples of that, and the crystals that you might want to use for that. And yeah, we use them in healing work all the time. I use them in my practice. I think I'm probably at my time, right?
Yep. Thank you so very much.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. It is, it's a lot of information. That's for sure. That's for sure. So if anybody has any more questions on Facebook, or you want to, you could definitely just write them down there, and we will answer them. Even if we didn't get to them today, we will go back and we will go through, the panelists will go through the video and answer the questions. Let me see if anything is, oh, Jamie says that she has a teardrop shaped amazite ring and I wear it every day. What does the shape do? The teardrop shape. Do you know, Tanis? What? Oops, you got to unmute.
I actually have not seen that one. I was doing more, I work more with the loose crystals. Does anybody else? Luna, you might have an idea on that one. On teardrop. You're on mute too.
Yeah. She's on mute. There you go.
I think depending on which way you wear it. So if the teardrop is facing inward, you're pulling that energy towards you. And if it's pointing outward, it's kind of generating that energy outward.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. This is great. All right. Next is Miss Luna. She's going to talk about clearing and cleaning and charging and programming. So Luna, thank you.
Yes. So we talked about all these beautiful crystals, and the question that I always get is, now what do I do with them? How do I take care of them? And so we're going to go through how to clean them. Cleaning is the very physical aspect of getting the dust. If they've been sitting on your shelf for a long time and you want to get them clean, how to do that. Cleansing refers to the energy that they can hold on to. And then we're going to talk about how to charge and how to program them. All right. So when we're talking about cleaning crystals, there is some things to be aware of. You want to look at your Mohs hardness scale. If it is a crystal that is 4 or under, you want to make sure that you are not using water to cleanse your crystal. If it is a Mohs hardness of 4 or over, water is an excellent way to clean your crystal. You can just run it under water, kind of getting all the dust and debris out of there, and that can be a great way to do that. If it is too soft, you can use air or a soft paintbrush or a soft toothbrush to kind of get some of the dust and debris off of it that way, gently rubbing it off in that manner. So when we're switching over to talking about cleansing a crystal, this is a very different than the physical cleaning it. So crystals, as Tanis mentioned, are beings, and as beings, we need to be cleansed every so often. We cleanse, we shower, we go to the bathroom, we cleanse ourselves. So the reason that crystals need to be cleansed is that they hold on to thought forms and emotions, and they do work for us. So as they do work for us, they can pick up emotions, thought forms, and they can get full. And so they need to be cleansed regularly in order for them to be working properly for you. If you do not cleanse your crystals often enough, they are beings and they will find ways to cleanse themselves. So ways that they will cleanse themselves are to jump out of your hand, fall onto the ground, and potentially break. Once they break, they have cleared the energy that they were holding and they are now cleansed, and you have a broken stone. You can still use a broken stone, they work just the same, but to keep it whole, you want to make sure that you're cleansing it often. And some things to keep in mind is people often forget to clean jewelry or things that they're wearing. So those are some things you want to remember to clean more often because they're doing a lot of work for you. And so there are many, many, many different ways to cleanse crystals and stones, and there are many different opinions on which work better. And I very much advise that you try many different ways, and you should notice when you feel it beforehand and afterward if it feels cleansed. There's no right or wrong way to cleanse a stone as long as it works. So if it works for you, use it. And part of the fun in working with crystals is the tools that you use with them. So if you are a plant person, you may choose to use something like sage or Palo Santo, and they work on helping clean and purify a crystal, and they completely wipe out whatever that crystal is holding. So let's say you have a crystal and it's feeling full and like it needs cleansing. You might grab a piece of sage. This is white sage. There are all different kinds of sage. Or Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a wood that comes from South America. They do work a little differently. White sage will completely wipe out pretty much all energy in the surrounding area, so you do need to use effort to fill back up with positive energy. Palo Santo will just absorb the negative vibrations. So give a little demonstration here. So you light your sage, and just as crystals are beings and have consciousness, so are plants. So when I light my sage, I ask that it's willing to work with me for the intention of helping to clear the stone. I do a little prayer and I ask it to work with me. And then you just hold the smoke and you hold the crystal in the smoke. It might be kind of hard to see. And what you'll notice is the smoke will go right through it and go all around it. And then after some time, it'll sort of kind of stop going around it. It'll kind of just go off to one side and actually divert its smoke kind of completely away from it. And then you'll know that it is cleansed. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing a smoke cleanse is that some stones, especially if they're porous, will the smoke will stain the stones. So with selenite or danbarite or something like that, you may not want to use actual smoke. And with sage, you do have to kind of put it out. You kind of have to smother it there to put it out when you're done. And I always say thank you to the plant for working with me for the intention of clearing the stone when I'm done with that. If you like using plant medicine, but you are worried about the smoke staining your stones, there are an array of sprays made from the same plant oil medicine, and you can do the same thing. You pray to the plant and ask that it helps to clear these crystals, and you spray in the air and kind of hold it in that area. And that is another way that you can use to cleanse with plant. Another good way, especially for jewelry, or if you're using stones on yourself or with clients and you want to have a quick clear, is a little jar of sea salt. Salt cleanses and purifies. You can set it, pretty much every stone is safe to set in a bowl of salt for a period of time. You want to leave it there for at least probably an hour, a couple hours to really get the full effect of the cleansing with the salt. Another beautiful way to cleanse stones, if you are a sound person, is to use sound. I'm a sound person. I know Dana's a sound person. So sound pushes out, pure sound, vibrational sound, pushes out any negative energy that a stone is holding. So if you had a bowl, I have this one I'm holding just so you can see, but normally you could have it sitting on a table while you play it, and you could do a bunch of stones at one time, setting them in a circle all around your bowl, and then you just tap. I always do the same thing. I ask the sound to purify and cleanse the stones. And it helps to just visualize everything flowing out of the stones and just going back to the Mother Earth where it can be transmuted into something beneficial. So sound is a great way. I think you can also use tuning forks. I'm partial to the bowls. Bowls can come in metal. You can actually get quartz singing bowls, which are also my favorite. I love quartz singing bowls. They're very powerful. You can clean a whole room of crystals with a big quartz singing bowl and get a lot of work done really quickly. Another tool that's great for cleaning stones, especially black stones that are used to repel negative energy and to protect us, is a bowl of brown rice. A bowl of brown rice will pull all of the stored negative things that are in your stones, tourmaline, smoky quartz, obsidian, and will cleanse them out beautifully. I love to use brown rice for the black stones. So those are some techniques you can use for cleansing stones. And we're going to move on to charging stones. So charging stones is, once you have your stone cleared, much like a battery, it needs to be recharged. So humans, we eat food, we get sunshine, all kinds of different things we do to recharge ourselves. Stones also need to be recharged, to be tapped back in. So some ways that we can use to charge our stones are Reiki. Reiki is a great, powerful way for cleansing, actually, and clearing. You can use Reiki for cleansing and clearing stones. Another technique that you can use for charging that both cleanses and charges stones, and is my absolute favorite method, is sunshine. Sunshine will clear and cleanse your stone. You can do it all in one fell swoop. But some things to keep in mind with sunshine are that some stones will fade in the sun. However, that takes quite a bit of time to do that. Usually you only need to put your stone in the sun for a couple of hours. If it's real bright sun, less time than that. If you live in a very hot environment, you may need to do it early in the morning or later in the afternoon so that the stone is not getting hot, because that can damage your stone as well. You can cleanse stones in sunshine in a window. It doesn't have to be direct sunlight. It doesn't have to be a bright sunshiny day. The sun is very powerful and will come through the clouds. It can even be a cloudy day. If you'd like to put them outside and you're worried about little squirrel friends taking them, you can put them in a clear jar. and they will still get charged up. They love the sunshine. They get all charged and all fun. We go to Tucson every year and buy crystals, and they're all in the bright sunshine, and you can just feel how happy and charged and clean they are. And we bring them home, and they are cleansed and charged for months after that, because the sun is so powerful there. Many people believe that you can also charge in the moonlight. I haven't had as good a luck with that. Again, with all these techniques, try it, see if it works for you. A lot of people will put their crystals outside so it gets the moonlight and part of the sunlight the next morning, so you have the balance of both. So that's some techniques on how to charge. Again, sunlight, you can't go wrong with sunlight. That's my favorite. So now we have stones that are cleaned, they're charged, and they're ready to go. What do we do with them? How do they work? So just like when you have an employee, they don't know necessarily, maybe have talents and gifts, but unless you direct how you want them to use those talents and gifts, they're not gonna know exactly what you're wanting them to do. So we call that programming. So with programming, we're really communicating with the stone. And like Tana said, you're gonna pick a stone that aligns with what you're desiring for it to do. So if you're wanting it to heal the heart, you may choose a heart stone, a rose quartz, a malachite, something that aligns with that, and really give it a specific intention and take time to think about exactly what you want this stone to do for you. And you want to state that intention in the positive, as if it's already happened, because our thoughts and our words have power. So if you have a rose quartz, you may say, I program this stone to always help me use loving words and find loving connection. So the way that you want to program that, again, is you communicate with the stone, pray with it, do Reiki, physically hold it above your heart and ask it to do this for you. And I also like to do a little add-on where I write my intention on a piece of paper and I set my stone on that piece of paper for a period of time on my altar. I like to start it during a new moon and then grab it for use during the full moon, so it's charged up with that intention. But there's no right or wrong way to program it, as long as your intention is good and you're asking it and direct it. So it's just a way for it to direct its broad sense of gifts that it can offer and direct it into the exact direction that you would like it to work. So that is how to clean, cleanse, charge, and program your crystals.
That's so awesome. So much information. So much information, I tell you. Oh my goodness. I don't think anybody has any questions right yet. Jamie said thank you, Luna, for telling them about the shape of it. They were talking about the shape and stuff. So that's awesome. Awesome. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So our next person is going to be Carla. Hi, Carla. Let me get.
Hello.
There we go. Please try to unpin. Oh boy. Here we go. There's Carla.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm good.
You're good. You're good. Carla. Sorry about that.
So, like,
what's going on? Carla's going to be talking about the ailments and how our well-being and health with crystals, how to incorporate them. Thank you, Carla. Now you're on.
You're very welcome. Again, thank you for having me. I just want to say this is something that I do on a day-to-day basis in everyday life, because I am one of those that loves to purchase crystals for many different reasons. The very first crystal that I ever purchased was a tiger's eye. When my kids were younger, I bought them a little tiger's eye, which I don't know if you can see it. This is like a newer one that I just purchased. But the tiger's eye, I made them little necklaces so that to protect them as a form of protection. And they're like, Mom, why am I wearing a rock around my neck, man? That's not cool. Because they were teenagers at that point, right? You know, they're just kind of like, so anyways, to me, I believe that the crystals have so many different, as we all know, so many different purposes, not just in health, but also in our spirituality, in the way that we carry ourselves from day to day. I see so many people that wear, like myself, I wear the bracelets, you know, the hematite, the amethyst, all those good different things that we do. So I like to use this, like the amethyst, Like a lot of the ladies have, um, they have so many different purposes. Like people, like for health wise, people put, um, sometimes they put it in their drinks. You know, I've seen those cups, um, how they put it. I don't know if you guys have seen the big drink cups, like you put water in it, but then they have like a crystal that's inside of it. Sometimes people use that when in their drinking water in different things. So the amethyst, to me, of course, it's a beautiful, beautiful purple color, but it says that it helps to boost the hormone production. It cleanses the blood, plus it relieves pain and stress. So for me, it's very relaxing. Taking a bath, you put an amethyst rock by your bathtub with, you know, those kind of foo-foo-y things, if that's something that you're into. But, you know, the also health purposes, it says it could be used for asthma, and also some brain health. You know, it kind of clears you up, those kind of things. Another one of my favorites too is, you know, it's like the master, you know, the master healer, which is the crystal quartz, obviously. The crystal quartz, you can put it in anything. It's very safe to even carry in your pocket. Some people are able to, I have a few just laying around the house just to keep the energy flowing, just as, you know, you have the selenite wand, like the selenite wand, some people use that to like clear that energy, just kind of going up and down your body, you know, just to help clear those energies. To clear, and also I have a couple big ones that I have just laying around in my room, just to kind of clear that negative energy and those other things around that may make you feel a little depressed or just a little, you know, stagnant energy, that kind of thing. Also, the clear quartz helps with aches and pains. I know that when I wear my clear quartz, which I have a necklace that I wear, and it helps with the, to me, it gives me more energy. And to me, everybody has a different, like everybody responds differently to the different crystals that people wear. For instance, lapis lazuli is one of my favorites. It's always been one of my favorites. Sometimes when I have a sore throat, I wear my lapis lazuli, and it helps to clear out my throat chakra. It helps me also to sometimes have those conversations we so don't, you know, sometimes we don't want to have, or it gives us, you know, helps us to step up into our voice, step into our voice, and help us to have those conversations we may not want to have, or to help us to just kind of reach into that aspect of maybe having that uncomfortable conversation or things we must say. Our throat chakra reminds us, hey, got to handle your business. So this gives me strength. You know, the lapis lazuli, it's a beautiful blue color, and it really helps you to step forward. Um, Now the other one too is obsidian. It's like, eek! It's very beautiful. It's dark. It's kind of jagged. You know, this one's kind of like you got to be careful when you touch it. But this is like, it also helps in so many different ways. Of course, it clears the negative energy, but it also helps as a protective stone, and it helps with the digestive system. It helps with the liver, and it also helps like the ears and the knees. They say supposedly it's one of those that really clears all that stuff out, like all that stuff that's just sitting around. um, I enjoy mine. I keep mine on my computer, you know, those kind of things, just to keep out those other energies that maybe we don't need in our lives. But it's a wonderful thing for me to have those kind of energies, or, you know, the crystals, the way that they work to clear a lot of those lower vibrational energies. Um, Amethyst is one of my favorites too. I like the amethyst. I have it, oopsie, hey now, my other amethyst necklace that I like to wear just when I'm feeling kind of like in the zone, and I'm just really wanting to radiate out that energy of love, peace, and, you know, everybody's important, and everybody, you know, we're all one. That's how I like to do that. I like to take things more in a spiritual aspect, but I know that there are some properties in each and every one, as crystals are very different for each and every person. Yes, they do have meanings. There's books we can all read or graphs or whatever they are. But sometimes crystals step out of their natural, how people know them, and they mean different things to different people. So it's all in what we look for. Like, just like we were talking about the bowl. Sometimes, we have the bowl of crystals and somebody reaches for that one crystal. They may need that one crystal at that one time for whatever purpose, for whatever need they may have. But it's very lovely. Like pyrite. Pyrite is another one that I enjoy. The healing properties to pyrite. Whoopsie, sorry. It helps with happiness. It helps with, self-confidence and willpower. This helps all the chakras. So this is like they call it fool's gold, right? This is the one they call fool's gold. But it's like the best piece ever. I absolutely love this piece. It's like the bee's knees for me. It's like, yeah, it's not real gold, but you could feel the power that's in there. And it's super awesome. I just love it. Smoky quartz. I don't know if I've shown you guys. This is like my bad boy here. Woohoo. This is my alien skull. He is smoky quartz. He is the sweetest little fellow. And the thing with smoky quartz is that it helps you too with like depression and those lower vibrational feelings that we feel. And it really helps you to get in touch with who you are. It helps you with your self-esteem, those kind of things. It's very, he's very, well, not he, but, it's a very connected bond that I have with smoky quartz as well. And I think that when we heal ourselves spiritually from the inside out, we become more healthy. Our aura becomes more glowing. We become more, the health things kind of dissipate, and they're no longer something that afflicts us so much when we come back to ourselves. Another one that I really, really love, this is my go-to. Now, this is really the bee's knees. I came across moldavite. I don't know if you guys know what moldavite is. This is extraterrestrial moldavite. This is a form of meteorite. This one is like heart-shaped. Can you get this? Look at this. Look at this. This is the best stuff ever. This is the most highest vibrational energy you could ever possibly feel. Like right now, tractor beam, my head is like moving up. The first piece I ever bought here was the littler guy. Now this is a piece that, sorry, I have a cheat sheet here, a lot in the trap shoot here. It helps you take control of your heart chakra, and it also helps you to rediscover your true self. It's something that helps you to step outside your box, your thinking box, your living box, not without being crazy, okay, keep it in mind. But also, you experience healing, and you step out of you start to believe in something different. It takes you to another level. It helps you to really step into your power, just like the meteorite. I have a meteorite necklace, and this one actually, I know I'm like, oh, but this really helps you, meteorite, as well. It helps you step into your power. I mean, it's one of those things where you just like, I want more. It brings you back that inner child to help you step out of that comfort zone and kind of move into more knowledge, if that makes sense. To me, it's something to where you're able to look inside yourself, begin that inner healing, and be able to move out and have those life experiences that you may have been afraid to have. I want to step forward and I want to maybe go for that job, or I want to try this new food, or whatever those little itty bitty things may be. It's able to help you to step out of your comfort zone and help you to move forward in life, in adventure, in anything. It's a lovely feeling, and crystals do so many different things for so many people, and it's a beautiful thing. And I bless you, and I leave you with that.
Maybe I'll mute myself. Thank you so very much. So what I get is that
Absolutely.
crystals kind of they support you. They support what they
Absolutely.
can support what you need, and it's kind of like a supplement. It's like a vitamin. You know what I mean? It's like pick your crystal for the day and stay with it and see what
Yeah,
happens and stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so very
Thank you.
much. Thank you. All right. Our next speaker, look, she just pops right on without even me asking her. So our next speaker is Miss Rhonda, and she's going to be talking about protection and support. And Rhonda, when you want to do the grid, let me know. But I do have real fast. There's 2 questions. Kim she goes, she thought, this is with Luna, but I guess Luna can answer or anybody can answer, is that I thought selenite was self-cleansing. Does it still need cleansing?
I have found that there are no stones that are entirely self-cleansing. There are some stones that I find to be the superhero stones, and they can stay clean for a very long time, but they do occasionally need some cleansing, in my experience.
Yeah, I felt
I
that
have
too.
broken many, trust me, they need cleansing once in a while.
Yeah.
But they can go for a very long time, and some of them can even help cleanse other stones, but they do need cleansing every so often.
Citrine's like that too, isn't it, Luna?
Yeah,
Okay.
citrine, I believe kyanite can also hold for a very long time. There are a couple that I would say don't, moldavite probably being one of them. The higher the vibration of the stone, the least amount it needs to be cleaned. I don't think I've ever had a clean moldavite, but aside from that, I think most of them need to be cleaned every so often.
Okay, thank you. And one more question somebody had is that they said thank you about everything, and then they loved your bowl with the handle. Where could you find bowls?
Well, that bowl in particular is a Zen. It's called a Zen singing bowl. So the one with the handle was created for specifically sound healing treatments, and they're tuned to a very specific vibration for different parts in the body. And these ones we sell at our store at Cosmic Delights in Madison, Wisconsin.
So Luna will put her website on when we go back to the video, and we'll put the website on there for you guys. So if you guys want to purchase something or connect with Luna, just give her a PM and see what she can do for you, because she has lots of goodies there. Lots and lots of goodies. So thank you so much, Luna. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And if any other questions anybody needs to ask, please do. That's what we're here for. All right, so let me see what I'm doing here. All right, I'm trying to get the pins moving. Sorry, guys. My technical properties just went down the line. There we go. All right, here we go. Thank you, Rhonda, for being patient with us. And just let me know when you want me to bring up the slide, okay?
It'll be at the very end, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much.
So being an intuitive empath, I not only sense and feel other people's emotions, but I can feel and sense spirit's emotions, good and bad. And so I love to help people. That is just something that I strive to do on a daily basis. So whether it be paranormal wise or Reiki wise or any way I can. And I never know what I'm going to run into. So protection is super important. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. So one of the simplest ways that I like to tell that can literally work for anyone is there's these little Apache tears. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and they're great. You can use them for to comfort for people who are grieving. They're a psychic protection stone. They absorb negativity and they transmute it into positive energy. So what I always suggest to people is that if you have a home, that you take these and you bury them in the 4 corners of the outside of your house. So that way, if you have any kind of negative energy, it can help transmute it into positive energy, and it kind of like puts a grid on the outside of your house that way. And with them being buried outside, they're being charged by the moonlight, and being buried helps keep them grounded. They are a form of obsidian, which is another great stone. So I really am very fond of the black stone. So obsidian shields you from not only negative energy, but also from psychic attacks. It also removes and absorbs negativity from the environment and can protect you from gentle abuse. So what I like to do, because you never know what other people's intentions are and if they are sending you any kind of bad energy, I like to wear. So one of the things I like to do, I'm really big on bracelets. I'm like Luna. I love to program them to help keep me safe and to protect my environment. And I think that's really important to do. Another, because I wear it, I do cleanse it often. It's like she was saying, you know, because it's not like she was saying with the rings, the bracelets. I do cleanse them often, especially because I when I'm going to other people's homes and doing, I call them home blessings. Some people call them cleansings. But so I just never know. Honestly, you could go to Walmart and you could walk by somebody who has an attachment, and the energy can be overwhelming. So I really like having protective stones on me at all times, in my purse, on my wrist. Another great black stone is the black onyx. It's another one that dispels negative energy, promotes emotional well-being. It promotes strength and support during times of mental and physical stress, and encourages wisdom. So black onyx is a really nice stone to have in your house. I don't know why. I think everybody, you keep hearing the other ones say, can be drawn to certain stones. So my personal favorite has always been black tourmaline. It's just something I really love. And it's just, I've just naturally been drawn to it. But it helps protect you from negativity and electromagnetic energy, and helps to clear and cleanse and unlock any energy blocks that you may have within your body or your home. And I think that's why I'm just naturally drawn to it, because I've always been super protective of my energy. Like I have a Reiki room, so I've always kept that really clean. I keep my paranormal stuff completely different than my Reiki stuff, and I've always done that. So I like to, like, for my like if I go do a Reiki session, because I go do portable Reiki sessions. So like if you need me, you can't come to me, I will go to you, and I have a portable table. I carry Palo Santo, but like with my paranormal stuff, I may carry white sage. So I just even like crystals and everything, I keep them completely separate, just because I know, one, I have no idea what kind of energy I'm running into. In the Reiki, I like to be protective and all positive energy. So one thing that is great about black tourmaline, and one of the main reasons why I like wearing it, is it shields you not only from negativity, but from psychic vampires. And it can also help with stress and bring a feeling of security. So if you're wearing that, or if you have that in your room, your bedroom, when you're sleeping, it can help you. Like if somebody's sending you bad intentions, it can block that energy from reaching you. So I think that's really important for people to have. It's just a great stone. I love it raw. You can get it polished, but I just really like the raw pieces of it. The last one I'm going to go over before I go over the grid is the shungite. Is a detox stone. It's great to make moon water, and because it has powerful antioxidants, it's able to purify water and make elixirs with it. It helps protect you from harmful electromagnetic fields. So a lot of people get them and keep them near like their computers or their Wi-Fi. It can help keep that in the energy balanced. It's another one that it can absorb negativity and harmful energies, and it can bring one back to earth meaning it helps with sleep and anxiety. So a lot of these stones have a little bit of difference in them, even though they're all protective and they can all help with the negativity. And you can put the grid up now. So this is another form of, protection that you can do, is to help keep, the Apache tears will help with the energy on the outside of your house and take the negative energy and transmit it into positive. But this is actually, especially if you're gifted, or if you're doing, like if you have a business where you're doing energy work, this is a great way to protect yourself. You take black tourmaline and selenite, and there's different placements. So like you want them in the black tourmaline in the corners of the room with the selenite in between. And where there's a doorway, you want one on each side of the piece, and then the selenite in between. If there's a window, you would put one on each side. And you can do this around your entire house, or even just a particular room that you're trying to keep the energy safe and balanced and the energy positive. Selenite, like they were saying, does need to be cleansed, but it does hold a charge for a long time, and it helps keep the tourmaline active. And so that's why these two are the best to help make a protective grid around your house. So if anybody has any questions, please just let me know. And thank you so much for listening.
Mute myself just for a second here. You went super fast. There we go. I just wanted to make sure there was anything. It's like a 30-second delay. Well, thank you so very much. And so, like, what I get is that there's all these different ways and crystals and stones that help you and supplement your protection kind of deal. It works with you in some way, energetically, or maybe minerally. Maybe we touch it and it goes into our system and it helps us protect somehow. But yeah, I think everybody's that's worked with crystals in a period of time has worked with the black stones. You know what I mean? I like working with jet too. That's fun too. And it's nice because it's little pieces and you can make it into a grid, into little cornerstones and stuff like that. So yeah, I love it. Thank you so very much, Rhonda. Thank you. I will let you know if there's any questions. Let us know. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. We got one. Gloria asks, how can you tell if a negative energy is around you? How can you tell if negative energies are around you or if they are attached to you? Okay.
Typically attachments, they can actually change your behavior. You can feel exhausted. They drain your energy. And you would have no medical or reason for that. Like, let's say you slept well, you're eating well, you're not sick, but you feel like you literally have no energy. That could possibly be an attachment. They also can be trying to attach and not necessarily have an attachment. But with me, I can actually physically feel it, and it's not a nice energy. It's not good. Not everybody's an empath, so they can't feel that. But I know that everybody has gifts. They're just different. Every single person, they're just slightly different from the other person. But you can walk into a room or walk into somebody's house and the air just feels thick and heavy. A negative energy is like that. The only way I can describe it, like when I'm doing a home blessing, or when I'm using Reiki to like grid residual energy off of people's walls, it's like a bubble pops, and it's like it just lifts, and everything is nice and bright. It's hard to explain, but
yeah. Does anybody else would like to add to it? Everybody has their own different kinds of responses when negative energy attaches to them. I'm similar like you, Rhonda. The flow. I will feel a difference of the flow. Like there's something going on with my flow. If it lasts too much longer, usually I might get sick or something's going on. My teachers always said a rule of thumb, every element is in an attachment in the beginning. So, anybody else would like to add anything? You can speak up. Sure, Tennis.
So I actually, if I walk by somebody that's got an attachment, I'll actually feel like nauseated and dizzy. So if you know, if you're like living with somebody and every time you're near them, you feel that kind of thing, then you know there's probably something going on with them. And like you said, Rhonda, certainly the fatigue is a big thing. If it's a serious one, definitely that you can have personality changes, a lot of depression, and you know, saying things that are out of character, that kind of thing. Those are the sorts of things that you'd look for in that kind
That's
of
awesome.
say, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Anybody else would like to add? This is a very like, it's on the person, really, it's how they process stuff. Sometimes people process.
Milo.
Go ahead, go for it. Oh, Linda.
Oh, me.
So
Oh,
different
go ahead,
people
Luna.
sense it. Whoops.
No, go for it, Luna.
Different
Go for it.
people- Alex said she said different people sense it different ways, and it's the way your intuition works, just like people have different learning styles. And I have a couple of different ways. So one is I can actually smell it. A strange smell will come that I can't quite place. And for me, it's either sulfury or kind of a cat pee type of a smell. So it's a very foul smell that I can't place. And then often I will see in the aura, for me, spirit shows it up as like a Skeletor type face around someone's face. And it's like I'm trying to look at their face and it's almost like covering it up like an aura in front of their face with this kind of Skeletor face. So it's just kind of tapping into your own self and figuring out how it shows up for you.
That is awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else would like to add to that?
I can say that I've walked, like I said, I've walked by people, and it can be in a restaurant, it can be in the grocery store, it can literally be anywhere, and the energy almost knocks you over. And I don't even think the person is aware that they have an attachment, but that's what's so odd about it, is that is actually possible too. The person, I can tell you just from my own personal experience that people who have any kind of addiction seem to have the addiction almost has like its own attachment with you. And like once you get clean and sober and you do different things in your life, it can kind of sever those cords. If that makes any sense. But there's definitely different types of attachments and different energies that go with it.
Yep, very much so. Very much so. Somebody asked a question that when it comes to using Usui symbols and the crystals, which ones would you recommend for personal protection? I'll let everybody talk about this, but I gotta say, any of them. They're high vibrational. What will happen when you get Reiki is that why people feel so like, oh, I'm on cloud 9 or I'm lifting off the table is because Reiki comes through us. You give Reiki to this whatever you're focusing on it, and it lifts and it clears and protects and it purifies and charges all at the same time. It's light speed. So any symbol is going to help you and protect you. Anybody else can speak up with something and it's whatever you're connected to, you're working with too, that whatever symbol. So anybody could shout on in on that, any experiences that you'd like to share.
Well, I think myself is that when you're always in this high vibrational energy, when you keep yourself in a high vibrational energy, whether you're doing Reiki, meditation, just in all your spiritual beliefs, those lower vibrational energies, they can't touch you. You come into the knowing that I'm in a good place. I'm in, you may be able to acknowledge them, but they cannot come into your aura or into your space, or, it's just something that you walk by. You may sense something. Perfect example, when Keith and I started this journey, we went to this place in downtown San Diego, and I saw a spirit, the lady that was sitting there in the chair. And she didn't, she's like, oh, you see me, huh? All of a sudden she just I felt like I got donkey kicked from behind, and I'm like, we got to leave this building. It's what she does to certain people, and there's some spirits out there that will do that to you, just they're like, because they can, right? I mean, there's no other reason. So you just protect yourself in those ways. Whenever you walk into a certain place, you ground yourself. I'm really big on that. Ground. And those are the kind of things, how you protect yourself. But once you're aware of how sensitive you are and those kind of things, sister, it's all good. It's all good. You can protect yourself, and those lower vibrational energies necessarily can't come into your space.
Yeah. Also, you talk about low vibrational energies. When you're in a really good mood, your spirits are raised, right? Your vibrations raised. You go to a really happy event. There's less things that are a little dense vibration. They kind of get lifted up. Not saying that there's not, but it does help if you are in a more of a positive frame of mind. That will help your own, physical being lift up the vibration. And, state of joy, state of love, state of compassion, always lifts those vibrations up. And you don't have to be a Reiki practitioner to do that. Tanis. And then we're going to go to Dana.
Yes, of course. In terms of the Yusui symbols, for me, I use the shokore a lot when I'm like helping to grid a room and stuff. That's one of the power symbols, and or either of the master symbols too. Those would be my choices on those. But in terms of personal protection, I'm more likely to use like a tube of light visualization. Calling in the angels and having them put a tube of light around you. And I do that actually before I go out anywhere, because I'm an empath and sensitive. And so I put a tube of light around me. So I hope that is helpful in terms of personal protection.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome. Miss Dana. Oh boy, here she is. Vogel crystals. What are they? Tell us all about them, please.
Can you hear me? Hey, back in like 1974, I think it was a scientist that worked for IBM named Marcel Vogel, thus the Vogel crystal. He had a vision, and this man is the reason we have all the technology that we have today. He's the reason we have cell phones, TVs, anything electric from the hospital to your home works off of crystals. So in 1974, he just woke up and he had a vision of the tree of life with a crystal. He didn't understand the vision, but he thought about the vision and he thought about the shape, which a Vogel crystal, if you look in the Kabbalah, you can find out more about the tree of life, is this shape. It is a universal shape of life. What makes a crystal so powerful is it has the ability, because of the way it's designed, a crystal is it's God's perfect creation. When it's building itself, it duplicates like a little stairway going to heaven. And the only thing that makes it less perfect is if a piece of metal interferes. Do you know how a crystal's made? A crystal's made with water. Something in the earth compounds, it dries, it hardens, it wets, it dries, it hardens, it wets, and it builds around and builds around and builds around and builds around. If you get a crystal like this, you can see there's a lot of imperfections in there, but there's no imperfections. They're all perfect. That's from pieces of metal going inside the crystal. When you get a Vogel crystal, you would like for it to be, I don't know, can you see? Perfectly clear. And the reason you want to do this is because any of the little, I call them rainbow effects that you get in your crystal, they're going to interfere with the amplification coming through the crystal. So you want it to be perfectly to where it is just amplifying exactly what you're thinking. There's 3 universal principles that everything in life goes by. There's a vibration and there's a rhythm. Everything on this earth vibrates and it has a rhythm. So when that happens in the crystal, you get a resonance. 2 things come together. And the easiest way for me to explain that to you, if you walk into a room and you come up to somebody that you just love, your body resonates with them. Your energy, their energy comes together, and it's a good connection. You can walk into a different room with somebody that you've never even met before in your life, and your energy just boom right off the bat. There's just something there. You got to get away from that person. That's the resonance. So when you hear people talking about resonance, that is the easiest way I know to make you understand what a resonance is. But Marcel figured out that you can take this crystal, it's double terminated. That means it has 2 cut ends. Some crystals come this way naturally, some don't. And these are crystal wands. You would use them just like any of your other wands, just like these or these. But these are super powerful. And the reason they're super powerful is because just like water, y'all know I'm a water person, just like the water, a crystal, Vogel crystal, resonates at 452 hertz. The frequency is 452, the same frequency as perfect water. So your body being 70% water is going to be the object of the Vogel is to make you resonate at a 452 degree hertz. And you can do that in the blood and the water in your body. So what happens, this is called a terminated, this end and this end. This is the female. This is going to be the receiver. This is the male. It's the transmitter. I'm sorry, you cannot see it. The female end, the male end. You want to never point the male end at the body. That's a no, no, no. Never do that, never. The Vogel crystal, the fat end is the end that's going to go towards the body. That is the healing end of the crystal. And you can control how much healing you do on this crystal by where your finger is on the crystal. This is going to directly, like if you're pinpointing one little area that's sick, you're going to want to hold your finger down so that it's directly right into that person. Further back, it's going to be more wide, a general healings type session. Things that you never want to do with the crystal, we were talking about cleaning the crystals with sound. A Vogel crystal, because it is a crystal, cannot be cleaned with a crystal bowl. It will shatter if it hits the right pitch. So you clean a Vogel crystal with your breath and you recharge it. When you clean the Vogel crystal, you're gonna hold it like this. You're gonna say your prayer, say your intention, breathe in. You're gonna breathe out really hard through your nose. And you're always scared you're gonna, but you don't. So you're gonna do that for each terminated side on the crystal. And the terminated side is what we call these sides that are cut. This crystal is cut to the purest specifications on. This is 51 degrees, 51 minutes, and 51 seconds, which is also the cuts of the Great Pyramids of Giza, wherever you're from, however you say it. It's an amazing piece of art. I call it art. I mean, it's the most powerful crystal that I think that there is on the earth. It's quartz, so it holds all the colors of every crystal. It is just perfect, perfect, perfect. You also would never want to smoke around your Vogel crystal, or really any crystal, because it messes up the ionization of your crystals and it pulls power and you can't generate that. So if you've been clearing the room with your sage and stuff, you want to let that clear out. Or if you smoke cigarettes, you want to let that clear out of the room, get fresh energy in the room before you would use your Vogel. If you want to charge your Vogel, after you clear your Vogel with your breath, like that, you're going to hold it like this with the fat end on your thumb, because that's where you're going to be doing your healing. And you're going to twist it. Twist it. And as you twist, what you're doing is you're charging your Vogel. And as you charge the Vogel, you can tell it's charged because it will become so sticky that you can almost not even twist it in your hand anymore. And you can test to see if it's charged, because what you want to do, take a couple deep breaths, because I've been talking. But what you want to do, if you hold your breath in, my finger will just slide really easy over this crystal. I'm talking, but I'm still not breathing. I'm holding my breath in. But if you blow your breath out, your finger will hardly slide over the crystal. I don't know how it works. I just know that it does work. And I've tried it with a couple of my other crystals that are smooth cut, you know, like this crystal, and it works on them too. So that's pretty neat thing to know. But when you first get your Vogel crystal, you want to take really good care of this thing. It is an amazing, some people call it the philosopher's stone because it can do so much. My Vogel is 13 sided, and I chose the 13 sided because 13 is a number of transformation. And when I'm working with people on energy, I'm trying to help them transform something in their body. So that is my reasoning and for getting a 13 sided Vogel. But there are Vogels that go up to 144 facets, these cuts on the side. And those that go up to 144 facets, the cuts are so small, it just looks like a clear, you can't even hardly see them. There's only 2 men in the world who can cut a Vogel crystal. That's Drew Tousley and Ray Pinto. Anything else is not true. It may help. I'm not saying that it won't, but it will not carry the 452 vibration that works with the water. Crystal is silicon dioxide and water. The silicon dioxide that's in this crystal is what gives it the ability to amplify. And when we're working with crystals, that's what we want. We want to make our intention, because we heal with the intention. This crystal laying there, not going to do a thing. But you put intention in that crystal and you pray over that crystal and you use it for the good, then it can work miracles. A Vogel crystal is a healing tool of the future. And scientists around the world are working with crystals and light to correct and fix the human body. Cancer, we are all electrical. We don't think that we have electricity in us, but inside our bodies is millions of little bitty cells. In the very center of that cell is electricity. And the quartz, this can work. There's 3 crystals that work off of PO electricity. And that's what the electricity that works through the body. You want to squeeze the Vogel. When you squeeze the Vogel, it sends that electricity. It gives it extra energy to move the energy that's in the body. That's a large part of it, is the squeeze. And that is called the, I just said it. My mind went blank. The PO electricity part of it. Tourmaline, topaz, quartz, the human bone or animal bones. That's why in a lot of sacred sites that they dig up, they find bones, because it is also able to transmit energy. So that's what you're wanting to do when you use the Vogel crystal. It is an amazing thing. I think everyone should have one. when you go to buy a Vogel crystal, you want to buy that at a very reputable shop. A crystal can never, they are making all these synthetic lab grown crystals. They don't work. They may have a little energy, but they're not going to have the energy that it takes to heal you. You need crystals that were dug from the earth, crystals that were made by the universe, that contain the universe, because our body is the universe. And that's what we dysfunction our body with our thoughts, our income and environment. And we want to get back to resonate with the frequency of the earth and the water, which is the 454, which you find in the Vogel cut crystal. A regular quartz crystal, like this crystal right here, is probably going to resonate around 100. Depending on how clear. This one might not be, but like a 70. I don't know, but that's pretty close to what that's going to be. So it's really important to understand your crystal when you work with these crystals right here, and really any crystal, because intention is so much important. It's so important to the purpose of these crystals. And these are not toys. This is not something I would let my 6-year-old granddaughter play with. She's seen me mommy's Vogel crystal, but no, we don't touch me mommy's Vogel crystal. I told her when she turns 10. And I give her lots of crystals around here to play with. But the Vogel crystal is just an amazing thing. It has the ability to transmit your thought into the PO electricity power of this quartz crystal, send it into the human body, the bioenergetic field of the human body, and transmit your thoughts to wherever you want them to go into the human body. A lot of people work, depending if you have an ailment or something, but most of the work done with this crystal is done at the thymus right here. You can do specific work if you got a bum knee or something, but you can also heal it from right in this area too. There is so much to say about this crystal. It would take me days, because I have literally spent probably 300 hours studying this crystal. When you get this crystal, before you do anything with this crystal, you want to meditate with this crystal. I say at least a month, and let it get to know you and let you get to know this crystal, because it is the most powerful healing crystal on the face of this earth. And as you meditate with this crystal, I say when I first started, it took me about 30, 45 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, and I might not feel anything. But as I meditated longer with it, after a week or so, 2 weeks, and it depends on where you are in your crystal beliefs too. So after about 2 weeks, I can feel the heartbeat of this crystal after about 20 or 30 minutes in my hand. So it is amazing. And when you feel that, you'll know it, because it's like your hands going woo, 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 woo. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what my hands feel like when I'm doing that. So I think everybody does not need a Vogel crystal. I think a lot of people do need a Vogel crystal. I will tell you, it's cut. Marcel designed it and never told anybody which part of this cut is made, so that if you use this crystal for bad intention, it will crack, it will shatter. It cannot be used for bad intention. It is for good intention only. And there's so much that you can do with the Vogel crystal. They go up to 144 cuts, like I said. And what the 144 cuts is going to do for you versus, say, mine is a 13 or somebody's is a 4. The 144 cuts, the more cuts it has, the more room for knowledge that crystal has. It's just a book of knowledge, of intention, because knowledge is energy, is a vibration, which is going to resonate in your crystal. Okay. And I'm going to stop with that today because I could just go on, and I know we're already running over. But if you have any questions or you want any help with your Vogel crystal, I love them and I would be glad to help anybody. Thank you for having me, Kathy.
Thank you, Dana. Hey, Dana, I got a question for you. What's the price ranges on Vogels? Is there a price range, typical average price range? Let's just say, I know they're very expensive.
You could probably go to a store that sells Vogel crystals and you could get a small, like maybe a little crystal like this. This is not a Vogel, it's a rose quartz, but that's got the double, that is a true Vogel. And it would have the inclusions in it like this, where it's not perfect clear. You could probably get one for about $400, $500, $600. Okay. But a perfect clear Vogel, especially the ones that are up in the 144 cut, they're up in the tens of thousands of dollars. Some of them, they're very expensive. They're like I said, they're not just something you just go get just to be getting. Right. You have to have good intentions and.
So you're just waiting for 10 years old, huh? I mean, like when you're 21, you could touch it maybe. Oh, thank you so much, very much. So guys, thank you for the questions and all the questions that you guys given us in live feed. We are going to continue this in 2 weeks, and we'll see what panelists feel like they want to step in and shine a little bit more and go a little deeper. This is a lot of information. We did go a bit over than we were supposed to, so I thank the panelists so very much from the bottom of my heart to being here. And I know you have lives and doing things, and this is just out of your heart and out of your spirit to give your light and to share it with everybody. So I thank everybody. I thank all the crystal world and all of our friends that came to visit with us. And just enjoy your journey with your crystals, bond with them. Take the time. It's like a friend. When you first meet a friend, it takes a little time to get that relationship, and don't push it. Just hang out with each other and just see what you feel. And some people just hold on to their crystals for a little while. I just got this guy a couple days ago. I still don't even know his name. He just wants to chill out with me, and we're getting to know each other. When I form a grids, I just pile everything on the table for a couple days just to let them. You'll feel it. Give yourself, perceive. We perceive in all different ways in our senses: sight, smell, touch, knowing, vision. So these senses will help you connect with your crystals. And so have a good time with your crystals, everybody. And thank you for joining us. Look at that. Wait. Okay. Awesome, guys.